Hello, hello. Hi, everybody in the SPTV community, my favorite people. I just missed you guys so much. I hope to start having more content up soon. I am making this video partially in response to Chris Shelton's name calling of Miriam and everything else that he said on Reddit that goes along with that. And because he is just, in my opinion, another one of Mike Rinder's pawns. And it's so funny because yesterday I had a feeling that something was going to happen. Someone was going to make a post or a video. Something was going to come up to where I would be doing this kind of video again, being harsh. Some people might say giving attention where I don't need to give attention, being mean, being evil, whatever. I just knew that it had been just about long enough that something was going to have to come out that was ugly and tied in to, in my opinion, Mike Rinder. And I think Chris Shelton is just his latest pawn. And this goes out to all his pawns and him. Chris, Stephanie, Brisker, if you allow yourself to be used as a pawn, like y'all have, so graciously done, you're now allowed to be called such names as dupe, puppet, lay figure, pushover, chump, y'all are chumps, minions, lackeys, saps, flunky, and those are just to name a few. Wow, I bet you didn't take this into consideration when you gave your souls to the abuser, Mike Rinder. Yes, Mike Rinder was and still is an abuser of others in many ways. That's my opinion. Thing is, you're all adults, and one of you is even a self-proclaimed, quote, critical thinker at large. Really? And y'all allowed a man to manipulate you into doing some of his dirty work? All of you have. You pawns have sold your souls to the devil, I would say. In a sense, anyway. All three of you haven't derived any benefit from doing this that I can see, from being Mike Rinder's dupes, his pawns. All three have made major fools of yourselves. And for what? For what? Oh, well, let's see. Two of you are on the Aftermath payroll, so you get paid real cash for decimating others. Other victims, people who have been abused by the same cult as you two claim to hate, Mitch Brisker and Chris Shelton. You talk out of both sides of your mouth. All three of you speak with a forked tongue. And Stephanie Hutchinson, you do it for free. You weren't even on the payroll that we know. I mean, maybe you were receiving cash on the side. Who knows? That's none of our business, I guess. You were appointed to the Aftermath board, and that is an unpaid position, as we're told. Do you have brain damage, Stephanie? Do you? Do you have brain damage? FYI fact here. The pawn class is the base class of all actors that can be controlled by players. Y'all are expendable. Ask Stephanie Hutchinson. She can tell you. She found this out real fast. She was expendable. She's no longer on the Aftermath board. Sold yourself to the devil. You all three have wicked hearts. As of late, that's what I have observed with all three of you. Once the door opens for you to become minions for an abuser, you can't help but to let evil creep into yourselves. Evil hearts are experts at creating confusion, contention, and discord. Imagine that. Discord. No wonder y'all hang out in Discord and Reddit so much. I always knew you were unsettled, jealous people who find your place in Discord and Reddit. You have no place in the SPTV community because you chose not to be there. Y'all would rather twist facts, mislead, lie, avoid taking responsibility, denying reality, make up stories, and withhold information. While doing all of this, you're backed up by people who don't see anything wrong with such abhorrent behavior, probably because they do the same things themselves. How to spot someone who exhibits evil, you ask? Let me tell you. Y'all are all absent of empathy, at least for the right person, the right people, the victims, the survivors. You have empathy for the abuser. Absence of empathy stands out as a key characteristic of individuals deemed evil. Y'all exhibit, just like Mike Rinder, a detachment from the emotions and experiences of others, deriving pleasure from inflicting pain and often finding amusement in the suffering of others. If people rely on you guys for anything, you guys will use this to manipulate and strip people of their self-control and personal strength. People, please don't believe their lies. Evil people lie. Don't confront them. It's not worth it. Don't take their words and actions personally. They can't help themselves. Create a distance from these people. Accept the evil person as they are and move on. Move on fast. Live a life of joy, and they don't know how. Mike Rinder owns you guys. You weak. Y'all are weak. And get out now. I'm telling you guys, get away from him now. As for Mike Rinder, you fool. You are a wicked man that I've seen. I came across you a little over a year ago. And the first time I listened to you, I knew you had narcissistic qualities. You see, being a survivor of narcissistic abuse by my husband for 13 years, I learned to recognize a narcissist real quick. I know one of you when I hear you. Y'all just can't help yourselves. It only went downhill from there. You were always proud, and you bragged about your position in Scientology. What was it, for 28 years? I mean, I could be wrong on the number of years. It was a long time. And one minute you would brag about being the head of OSA, and the next day you didn't know anything. Oh no, not me. I didn't know. I was in the hole. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. Your whole narrative changed. Whenever you felt it would benefit you to know nothing, you knew nothing. Other times you were so proud, oh, so proud. You bragged about your position. You never apologized. You never could humble yourself just long enough to utter those forbidden words. I'm sorry. It's not hard to say I'm sorry. I did some pretty gross and horrific things when I was in Scientology, and I apologize. I am so sorry if I hurt you. So sorry I did hurt you. Never, not for a second, my Rinder. You don't have it in you. You just don't have it in you. You don't deserve any sympathy, not an ounce, because you have cancer. Cancer is bad and it's horrific, but so is SA, and especially child SA. Crimes done against children at your hands is much worse than living with cancer or fighting cancer in your old age. Fuck you, Michael. Fuck you and your cancer. That's what I have to say. You know what? My mom was diagnosed with cancer, ovarian cancer, a very brutal kind of cancer. They don't live more than 5 years at the most. And you know when she was diagnosed with it? After she disconnected from me. After she refused to forgive me. She lived with unforgiveness and hate in her heart. And it was ironic that she ended up with cancer, you know, and cancer thrives in that kind of muck, that kind of hate, that kind of muck is what I call it, living in a person's body. It grows in unforgiving bodies. Of course you have cancer. You were ripe for the picking. A body that can't accept responsibility is a breeding ground for cancer, Mike Rinder. And how apropos that you have throat cancer. And at the risk of sounding even more mean, I'm going to say it like I see it and like I feel it. You didn't use your voice for good, so now you're going to lose your voice. You have throat cancer. Wow. Freaking wow. I mean, it's like it knew right where to attack you. You didn't use your voice for good. Cancer is going to use your voice. It is. It is. It is right now. It's like everything came full circle. Full circle for you. So call me mean, harsh, even evil if you want. I'm calling you out on your shit. The shit I've witnessed and been a victim of at your hands, however so slight. I haven't been affected very much by you. You just called me a few names. Keyboard warrior, dog with fleas. You think that we're dumb and that you can gaslight us, and you know, like I said, you didn't affect me. It was ever so slight. It's still abuse by you, and I don't really even matter. I mean, not in the big picture, or maybe I do. I guess I matter to the universe. We all do. Maybe, just maybe, all of you, my Rinder fans, will take notice of how things have played out. We are alive and thriving in the SPTV community in spite of some really bad actors. Maybe, just maybe, it would behoove you to lay down your discord, lay down your Reddit, your hate, lay down your anger. Live in truth, see truth in reality, and admit it even when it's hard. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It's not hard. Join us. Fight the good fight. Fight the enemy. We're not your enemy. The SPTV community is a wonderful place to be. We are not the enemy. Fight with us. Don't fight against us. You won't win. Fight Scientology with us and win with us, because you will never win against truth, and we are truth. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye now.